like one massive ramp and then two smaller ones. And Josh was on one side of it, Finn was on the other, like in the air, and then I was on the. I was
in like I was wearing.
Hello and welcome to the P2K podcast. This is the second ever episode. You guys really seem to enjoy the first one, so we thought we'd do a second one for you. And today we're going to be talking about us as brothers making music and how music has helped us as a family. I'm Finn.
I'm Zach.
I'm Josh.
And we are P2K Kings, a band of three brothers from just outside of London. Thank you for watching our podcast.
Yeah,
now,
so should we just get straight into it?
Okay, so we basically asked you guys for your questions that would dictate our conversation, and we could obviously talk around the questions depending on what you ask. So, one of you asked, how close are we as siblings? So to start off the podcast, how close are we as siblings? To give them an idea of our situation.
Okay, Josh, do you want to kick
I
off?
don't really like either of them, so that's a bit of a...
Nah.
No, of course not. No, we're very, very close. Doing music together, I think, kind of like makes us closer, because when you're on stage, you have to rely on each other and trust each other. Yeah. And like when one of us goes off doing something on stage, we all have to go with them. So definitely a trust build there. Yeah, whenever Zach has changed the key last minute, it's really fun. But yes, we're very close.
Yeah, we're very close. And I think, as we'll get onto in a bit, music definitely has brought us closer. Spending a lot of time together, finding out more about each other. And I think making music can really help you find out more about the person.
I agree. And I also think that like when you are in the process of, let's say, writing a song, you often have to be quite open and quite like just throwing stuff out there. It's quite nervous. Let's say
you've got an idea and you have to like put it out there.
And if someone in the street just said to you, "Oh, just sing what's in your head right now," you'd be like, "What?" Or you'd be like, "So you'd be shutting out." Yeah. So I think it's important that you just got to be comfortable with each other and just say exactly what. Just throw anything out there during songwriting, because that's what makes for the best process.
It's very true. And actually, to link into that, so someone asked, how long have we been playing together? And we're going to go for as a band and then individually.
Okay.
So as a band, it's been what? Over 3 years, I think.
Over three, yeah.
In terms of being with P2K Kings.
Yeah.
I mean, before that we were busking and stuff. And then we sort of wanted to take it properly a few years ago. And so we were P2K Kings. P2K Kings was born. And then individually. So Josh, how long have you been playing guitar for?
I mean, I've been playing music forever. Like, as the boys know, like we've done violin lessons when we were little.
Yeah.
My mum's a violin player. And then I did drums for a bit. And then I got gifted free lessons for GCSEs, and I could do any instrument. I thought, what's a nice instrument to do? I'll do guitar. Yeah. So I did guitar. I had a few lessons and then taught myself. So that was in year 10. Like 5 years of guitar, 6 years of guitar.
Yeah. And Zach, what about you? I mean, I suppose we can go for what, vocals or bass? Or
so
choose.
I mean, with vocals, I suppose I've sort of been singing my whole life. Ever since I was younger, there's obviously videos of me.
Those videos. Have you ever seen the videos? That's so
videos of me in the car.
Or Zach singing in the car, like what's it, Ed Sheeran or like Jason Mraz?
Bruno Mars, James Blunt. I love singing James Blunt. Yeah. So in the car before school, it was sort of just a ritual that I was we'd get there a bit early and I'd just sing along to our favourite songs. And I love being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So
Oh really?
Mum would film. Yeah, funny enough. And in terms of guitar, similar to Josh, I had 1 or 2 lessons and then sort of decided to go at my own pace with it. I can't remember how long ago it was. 3 years, maybe 4 years. And then obviously bass, which is my newest instrument, but probably my favourite. I do love the bass.
Cool. It is cool.
It adds a lot to the live sound, definitely.
And also it's cool to be like the lead singer that plays bass. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Sting.
Yeah, that's Sting. Yeah.
So I don't know what I can think of, but and
Michael Leafer's like a puppy, but he doesn't really sing. But there you go.
So I just think that's pretty cool, and I just love the instrument. No, so I'd probably say, I don't know, 2-3 years.
That's got a real bass face as well. If you guys haven't noticed.
Yeah. No, it does actually, and I suppose in a way, I mean, I guess you sort of picked up, little bits and pieces. I mean, in a way, we all have. Like I've sort of like tinkered around with piano and stuff, but I suppose our main instruments, drums for me, I've been playing. I sort of started teaching myself, and then I wanted to further sort of my ability and stuff. So I got lessons probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I've just been really, really enjoying. I always wanted to play drums, to be honest. I tried piano a bit, but didn't interest me in terms of like. I mean, I feel like when you're younger, you're sort of not really interested by piano or recording. You sort of want to play.
You want to just like big. Smash a drum and just.
I did piano lessons when I was in primary school. I remember like not enjoying it at all.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, as Finn said, like we all just dabble on stuff, and I do quite enjoy it.
Yeah, that's an idea of how long we've been all playing individually and together, and that brings on to the next question: how does it feel to make music as brothers? So we sort of touched on this, but I suppose we've released over 5 songs now. Yeah. Mostly originals, couple of covers, but songs that we've created ourselves, written with people, collaborated with, artists and stuff on in terms of, writing. And yeah, so like, how does it feel to make music together? I mean, what sort of feelings does it provoke?
I mean, songwriting is a process of many different emotions, isn't it? It's being open. It's being, as you said earlier, like if someone's got an idea, you've got to run with it. You've got to at least try it. And yeah, it is that moment of like when you're in the studio and like the line in Us where it's "I love you different." I remember having that in my head and being like, because we're trying to work out a bit of work that was unique, and I was like, this they could absolutely laugh in my face about this, or they could go with it.
Yeah.
And we've had loads of examples, or like random key changes in bridges that Finn like to do. And actually, it's about being together, being a team. And when we're writing with other people as well, it's about adapting to how they write as well. And it's we come in as a little unit, and then it's about how we let other people in and stuff.
I mean, I was thinking about this. Is that like a song, right? I mean, like it can completely change if you just say something in your head. So you could go through the whole session with something in your head, but you might not say it. And the song, I guess the song might not even be as good, Yeah. Whereas if you ever thought, just say it, and that can completely change the song, and that can make the song perfect. That can make the song like so much better. So if you ever have a thought, if you ever have a thought in your head, say it, whether it's about a concept. Like Ruin Our Movie was a really fun song to write.
That was the thing is, it was so easy to write as well because we literally were like, imagine being on a movie set, and then the person you're acting with. Obviously stops acting, and then it's like the whole love story is gone. And I was like, that's so easy to write about. You can just do all the analogies.
Exactly. So I think that is definitely, and I think it's just that's why referring back to the other question about writing with each other. I think that's why it works often because we're with each other so much. We're always writing music together. So if I've got an idea, even if I think it's not even that great, or like I don't worry like, oh, are they gonna like it? Are they not? I just sing it. Like here's this. Here's a line. Here's a line.
And actually, because Zach basically has a sort of home studio that we've been working on. He sort of customised his whole room. Now it's basically just a studio with a bed.
Pretty much.
So not really any room for fun.
Tiny bed in the corner.
But it means that we can write in it whenever we want, record whenever we want, rather than having to go into London all the time. Of course, we like to work with other artists as well, but in terms of just being able to wake up and think, let's start an idea, let's get something down on keys, let's record some vocals. Like it's really cool, and that means that we have a lot more time and actually motivation to write because you can just go straight into it.
And even if obviously we've started producing our own songs more, but even if it's being produced by someone else or we're working with someone else to produce it, like it's great to be able to wake up and like get the idea as fully formed as possible on my laptop, just get everything on there, and it just it's very satisfying.
It's very cool. It's very cool. So funniest moment when shooting. Now we're going to go on to a bit of a more light-hearted question. Funniest moment when like shooting or working on something. Okay, let's have a think. Now this is actually off the cuff, guys. So let's think.
I reckon for me it was when we filmed Here We Go Again. It was our first single. First ever music video for any of us, so we were all a bit like clunky and a little bit scared, but it was all right. And basically, one of the scenes was when we wanted this garage door to open and us to start playing when the garage door opens, so the camera can see us, like as if rehearsing in like a little shed or whatever.
Garage or something. Yeah.
And basically, this garage door wouldn't open.
Yeah.
Like we tried it 4 times, it wouldn't open, and basically we like put some WD-40 whatever it's called in there, and tried to sort it out. And then the time it opened, we were so happy it opened that our emotion of us playing, we looked savage with playing our song because we were like,
it's great.
It's open.
When we were doing it at the start, like we were kind of obviously like quite nervous, sort of like we were trying to put our will into it at the same time as like loads of there's a whole crew of people that you don't know and stuff. So but when the actual door finally came up, it was sort of just such a moment of relief, and also just such a feeling of okay, it probably won't like lift up again, so we need to just give our all this one performance.
And actually, even thinking about it now, that was probably, I guess that was actually the largest crew we've ever had on a music video. And ironically, I think the crews have always got smaller. So Here We Go Again, right? And then Break It Down was sort of like, I mean, sort of like, I guess like makeup and cameras and stuff. Yeah. And then like for us and like him and stuff, it was only really just us, Darren and Chris.
Shouts to Chris.
But so, I mean, those have been our favourite, some of our favourites.
It's. I feel like for me, as we were saying about teams earlier, like letting people into our little team to do stuff. Like the smaller the team, the easier it is. So like with Chris, we would film in public, which was a big thing for me. I find it really scary, but actually, because Chris was so good at his job and so quick, it was like actually, it's so easy. Whereas also with other music videos, we could, if we do a storyline, one like Here We Go Again or Break It Down, actually those are fun as well because you're trying to work out the story and like you're filming in cool locations, and it's a mixture of two. But I get what you mean. A smaller team sometimes, ironically, we've got smaller teams because it's a bit easier. But
but it's not even just size, but like just the closeness with some people. Like we've got like it's just like making good connections. Like after we did that video with Chris, that's sort of like a.
We were like, we want to do more with Chris.
Yeah,
he's
now
such a legend.
we've got a good working relationship with Chris, and it's always fun to film music videos. It's much less daunting because it's like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we've sort of grown into it, and we're not scared anymore. I remember the Break It Down video shoot.
Yeah. Oh my life,
that was the second video shoot we did. And it was a great
shoot, but it was a lot to do in one day.
It was in lots of different outfits.
It was in Leeds, and there was like a skate park, and we had to sit on like the edge of this bowl. And it's like a skating bowl. Yeah. And there were like skaters going around doing tricks.
Over
and stuff.
Didn't we film from like 8 or 9 in the morning to like
10, 11?
11 o'clock at night.
Really, really long day. I mean, we filmed on rooftops. We filmed in skate
parks, avoiding flying skateboards.
The maddest part was the skate park.
That was sick. Cool. So basically, the guy that owned the skate park was like, you guys can skate for free if you stay behind and skate during this music videos. And so we wanted some skateboarders in the scene. And these guys were like doing like cool tricks around us, but they were like getting quite close. Yeah. We were able to mime to the camera, like to the music, like the song going in the speaker, whilst his skateboarders were like going around.
This close to us,
which was sick. Cause honestly, they were so talented and like lovely guys, but it was like, oh my days, it's quite.
And like, we were actually positioned on ramp, so my kit was on a ramp.
Yeah,
you were at the top of the ramp.
It was crazy. So we had
with the little dropping thing, and you can like.
So it was you on. So often there were like. There was a ramp, it had 2 platforms on it.
Yeah, I got the picture.
So there was the ramp, and then one massive ramp, and then 2 smaller ones. And Josh was on one side of it, Finn was on the other, like in the air, and then I was on the.
I
was wearing loafers which had like no traction, so we had to like take a run up and run up the ramp with our guitars.
Exactly. We were having to carry up the drum kit.
Yeah.
Up a slope and trying to put it on there.
That's so weird.
We were like, you had to run up the slides. Yeah, crazy.
I mean, I was having to run with the bass drum.
I don't see Dua Lipa or any other artists running up drum kits.
I reckon they've got a crane. They would have a crane.
Yeah, a crane. We didn't have a crane.
They'd have had a 20-man team, whereas we had us. But it was good. I love that experience. It was
that's just a bit of an insight into sort of like some funny moments on set or like, working. That's and this leads on to the next bit. So, about us as people. So obviously we were thinking about what to do for this podcast and what to talk about, and I guess it's been sort of broad and we discussed some stuff, but it's mainly sort of like a Q&A, but we can elaborate more. Yeah. So I think in future we might do some podcasts that are more like very specific topics, but for now we sort of just got on to us as people.
Yeah.
So someone was asking, and it was quite a nice way they worded it, what makes us feel alive, and what do you do when you're feeling burnt out, when you're feeling tired or drained? What makes us feel alive? Let's do feeling alive, and then we can do.
I was about to say, because I feel like they're 2 different, very different things. Because for example, this will make sense when I do my chilling out one. But what makes me feel alive is being on stage, knowing it's like the 3rd song in where you're just like so comfortable. Like the first song is always going to be terrifying, no matter what. It always is going to be. But the 3rd or 4th song, when you're like in your element, you're in the groove.
Yeah.
You look at the audience and realise they're just people, they're not scary monsters when you're backstage stressing out about it. And for example of that is like Michael McIntyre. So I remember Zach is cool as a cucumber, but doesn't get nervous. He's actually ridiculous. Me and Finn were there like, this is terrifying. I got on stage, we had 5 minutes to just like set up the stage or whatever. Looked at the audience and I was like, oh, they're people, it's fine. So yeah, it's when you realise the audience are there to support you and you're in the zone, you're in your flow, and you can look around and look at each other and like, no, you're
I mean, it's not as if like when it comes to the nervousness, I feel like we just have all different ways of showing it. Like Josh, I feel like
Zax's just doesn't show.
No, but you and Finn are much more like hyping each other up, talking to each other.
And like, Zach's like this.
Me and Finn punch each other's chest, and Zach's there just like.
No, but I don't know. I just
come on, Zach.
I don't know. I find it. I don't know. I had this weird moment of calm. But like I'm nervous. Like obviously I'm nervous.
Inside.
But on the inside, on the outside, I'm sort of just like, let's just be like, I'm usually quite still, quite quiet. Whilst Finn and Josh are like, come on, you ready?
I feel like I'm going out for like a massive game. Like, you know, like basketball is like get hyped up. Like, the thing is, there's the thing we're saying about music earlier, and the power of music. Like, if I've got a good playlist that hypes me up, or there's always that 1 or 2 songs I can listen to and be like really hyped up for it. That helps. Everyone has their own traditions before show, obviously.
And Zach, what makes you feel alive then?
Well, I say you skipped the entire question then, mate. What makes you feel alive?
What makes you feel alive? I'd say we were talking about this earlier, and I weirdly said to like big heights, like heights, Whether that's like
yeah.
like Tower of Terror or something.
Tower of Terror, Disneyland Paris.
Proper, like when you're
basically, you see
stomach goes
before every
so
gig, Zach bungee jumps off the side of the building just to get hyped up.
So I do wanna. I probably wouldn't bungee jump. I'd love to. Maybe go sky.
I'd love to bungee jump.
No.
Charity bungee. You want to skydive?
I'd rather skydive than bungee.
No. It's off me.
But yeah, I don't know. I just like adrenaline rushes like that when I can actually like hype myself
Go
up
ape.
enough to
Go ape.
let it go over.
Go ape.
I mean, obviously
We
that's
love
like small scale, like it's some zip line stuff, but still, that is like I do find.
I
it
love
fun.
Go ape, man.
So probably just like adrenaline.
This has gone
rushes.
off on another tangent.
Also, I one of my favorite things is when it doesn't feel like it'll be the sort of thing that makes you like feel alive, but you know when you're in the studio and then like it suddenly comes so easily.
Yeah.
Like there's a moment.
It's flowing.
If when you've got the right song. Like,
it's when you're dialed into the algorithm,
Yeah.
algorithm of the song. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're going like it's you see the mission, you see the flag,
Yeah.
and you're like, actually, we can go for that instead of like searching around the dark, being like, what the song going to be about.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Especially like with the song we were working on recently.
Oh man, what a tune!
The chorus was obviously like we were like we had to get it right, so we sort of took our time with
over
it.
again.
But like when it
But
came
it's
to
so worth
it
it.
came to the verses and even the bridge, like it just suddenly we were just like bouncing off each other, like it was just the
Nice.
easiest thing to.
Well, the silly thing with
to
that,
get
where
as well.
like, so I was laying down guitar for the new song, and Zach was like, usually I'd have to be like, oh, like, what do you want me to do in it? And like the first few parts he did, and then actually once we got it, we played like 4 or 5 different guitar parts that were like you were in the groove, and actually it's so rewarding when that happens.
definitely.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What makes me feel like that? Very good question, by the way. So I won't go for anything they've gone for. So that excludes music.
Or not skydiving.
So for me, it's like I mean, I am so competitive. Like I mean,
It's hilarious.
sometimes too much. Like as in we're playing Xbox and I'll just be shouting.
Often too much.
But I think like as in like a football game, right? Like as in like a football game, like I mean amongst mates or you used to play Sunday League, whatever, and just like that moment before you play where you're like, it's go time, kick off, and you're just into it. Like I think just football for me gets me so alive. But I do also think like opening a show for me, heart is beating, adrenaline, like as in like because often I have to walk onto the drum kit first, and it's like I'm the first person they're cheering, and it's like you know. So I just think either football or like that moment on the stage when you first get on. But as we were saying, I guess you get eased into it so easily after a couple of songs, depending on the crowds. It's like it's really relaxing. And now we'll do the what do you do when you feel burnt out?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
So we can start. We can start with we can do some short answers for this one.
Yeah. Short answers.
Watching other musicians, and it sounds really weird when I explain it, but it's like watching John Mayer, someone who I know won't make a mistake, or like the few singers that me and Zach have spoken about this, where you can watch it and sit back, go to a gig, sit back, and know they won't mess it up. And it sounds really weird, but you musicians will get it. Sometimes I feel like I'm sat on the edge of my seat being like, I really don't want to do it wrong. I'm nervous for them. Whereas when you watch an artist who is so good at their craft, like the weekend at the Super Bowl, for me I was sat back being like, this is what helps me chill out. Cause I'm like, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And like I can as a musician I can enjoy them doing their thing. So sitting back and watching someone who knows what they're doing and can do it really well.
That's cool. Is that
for me? Or music documentaries as well.
Yeah, music documentaries. Yeah. Let me have a think. So. Oh, I had something in my head. What was it? Oh yeah. So I actually really enjoy. I love cycling. I love me and Dad have done a few actually quite not hardcore but quite long, quite tiring cycle rides. But also just cycling slowly with the sun.
Yeah.
Over the top of you, listening to music I feel like there's just nothing.
Yeah.
For me, I just love it. Just like a moment of peace where I'm not. I don't have to think about anything. I can just enjoy the stuff going around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hanging out with mates and just chilling out. Yeah.
Just casual stuff.
Yeah.
For me, so when I'm burnt out, I probably I really enjoy watching films. I've always loved watching films and really getting immersed into it. Like certain eras as well, like Western era, medieval times and stuff. Just really cool eras. I'd actually quite like to do a podcast about films at some point. That'd be really
Yeah,
cool.
we should do that.
Yeah, really cool.
That'd be good.
We're watching films, watching series, and just stuff that you like. So we have series like The Office or Chuck that we know, we'll laugh at or we really enjoy. Yes, I think for me, just going back
Prison
to things
Break.
that you did, Prison Break.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
just
started rewatching that recently.
Blows my mind every time I watch the first season.
Or stuff like Afterlife as well, The Office. I mean, anything Ricky Gervais we love.
If you want to hear us natter on about, natter, that's a good word.
Yeah, it's good.
Ramble. I'm going all the words now.
Ramble.
You want to see, just talk about films and
series.
Albums,
No.
whatever.
If you want to hear, for some reason want to hear us talk about that, then comment it down
Good
below.
actually.
Yeah, well, we all know your guys' ideas definitely.
Yeah.
So like because obviously we can talk about most things because I feel like we're quite good at just chatting for like hours.
Yeah.
But if you want to hear specific topics, like as Zach said, if that's like films, TV shows, music, like our vinyl collection, fashion, whatever.
So that was actually the last question. So I think that's a good idea. Comment down below what you'd want to hear us talk about on the next podcast. As we were saying, it could be films, music, anything. I mean, or even issues or things that you'd like to hear us speak on if you want to hear our opinion.
Yeah.
For any reason.
For some
Some really good reason why I can hear it.
But yeah, because I mean, we really enjoy doing these. They're really
been
fun.
great.
And this is our second one now. It went reasonably smooth, which is great. So yeah, keep on commenting down below, and we will definitely be interacting and having you think, adding them to the list. And yeah, definitely thinking about the next one. So, saying loads of love, guys. Hope you stay safe. New music coming soon. Won't say too much.
Very soon.
But new music coming
It's
very
exciting. It's
soon.
exciting times.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes peeled because it's all coming very soon.
Yeah,
Definitely.
very, very exciting. I mean, I guess 2020 was quite a weird year, so we were sort of trying to catch up with all of that. And yeah, we will catch up soon. See you guys, and hope you enjoyed. Bye.
See ya.